Hi guys, we're Team 4. You might remember reading our analysis, and we're going to go over a very brief version of our presentation. And I'm Peter, and I'll start with the intro. So good afternoon. Welcome to our presentation of our analysis of Home Depot. Through our weeks of research, we were impressed by Home Depot's sustained success throughout the years, despite the idea that traditional brick and mortar retail stores are on the decline. Home Depot has seen some of the strongest stock returns over the past decade and set themselves apart from their competitors. We did find certain weaknesses and threats, though, that we see coming up in the future, and we believe that these threats could be mitigated by acquiring Wayfair Inc. in order to diversify Home Depot into more soft goods and to give them a larger online presence. We also believe that Home Depot is set up in a way that can make Wayfair much more profitable than it currently is. And then I'm going to pass it on to Ella, who will talk more about their current strategy.
So next we're going to talk about Home Depot's current strategy, which is product differentiation. And we'll start off by looking at the internal and external factors and analyze how that affects Home Depot. And next, James will go into the current analysis some more.
Yeah, so more on the business level and corporate level strategy, we're going to focus on the three key factors such as the management reporting and hiring recently, the supply chain advantage that Home Depot has presented, and also our reference program through Home Depot into influencing and producing more growth within professionals in the area. Now here's Abigail with our strategy recommendation.
And I'll start our strategy recommendation by saying that we chose to acquire Wayfair. I'm going to give a brief background information about Wayfair, the company itself, and talk about the pros and cons and resources that acquiring Wayfair will bring, and basically just talk about why we choose to acquire Wayfair.
And I'm going to discuss how acquiring Wayfair will fulfill all the four requirements of the VRIO framework, and how this will help Home Depot get a competitive advantage in its industry.
And I'll be doing a little bit of a deeper dive into some of the more logistically oriented aspects of the organizational structure, focusing on what the implementation of this acquisition would look like, and potentially even dive into a little bit on our choice of an acquisition as opposed to a merger, and talk about how Home Depot and Wayfair are organized to, exploit the resources of one another and ultimately create value from the exchange. And then I'll be handing it back off to Peter to close us out.
And then I'll conclude by pretty much summarizing what was already said. I'll highlight things that we thought are important for the audience to remember from our presentation, key takeaways, and just emphasize why we think that this will be beneficial to Home Depot. And then I'll pass it off to questions.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.